Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Nick. Before I start today, I want to tell you guys this is not financial or trading advice. You guys have to do your own hard work, your own research, your own due diligence in order to make it in these markets. But I know most of you are probably just buying some of these altcoins, QNT or VXV, and just kind of wanting to know, have we bottomed or are we headed lower? And so I think it just helps, keep the hand strong. If you're holding through this dip, you're not trying to, trade and sell here and buy back in lower. What I will say is that once the dip has happened, which I think it's done, uh, it's not a good idea. A lot of people will wait for a little bounce and sell, thinking, oh, we're still going to go lower. To me, Bitcoin, looking at what has Bitcoin done? Well, I mean, it retraced to the area where it often does retrace to, and assuming this was a first wave up, and we came exactly between the zero point 0.5 and 0.618 fib, right? And retested our level from over here, so I mean, if you look at that and say, these, we're retesting this support here, and we're also retracing this first move. So, we just did that. If I see a bounce in this spot, I assume we're good. When I get worried is if we lose this spot, lose the 618 fib level. Let's say we closed the daily below this area. Then I would say something's off and maybe we are going lower. Maybe we're going to 25K, maybe all the bears, or maybe this was just a bounce, right? It totally could have been, right? This is the complacency shoulder. So this was our, head and shoulders or whatever, and we're just, or this is the complacency bounce, and we're going back down to 20K. That is what some people believe. I can't believe that. I mean, if I believed that, I would have sold everything and just gotten completely out of the markets. But I believe that there's another big move up coming. I'm on that boat. I like the idea of Bob Lucas's 4-year cycle, that we still have. And I also, Elliott wave theory. I mean, if you look at this, where's wave 5? Makes much more sense that this gigantic move here is a wave 3. This was a wave 4. And now we just made wave 1 of a 5-wave move up, which would take us to, just totally gonna take a stab. We might hit as high as 67K on the third wave, or more like 90K, right? Very, very possible. And, where are we gonna, top out to complete our 5-wave move? And the 5th wave or 3rd wave can extend. Remember that. I don't think this first wave was extended. I think a 3rd wave or 5th wave can extend. So I have heard people say the 5th wave is often the one that extends. So, 130K, 193K. These are, in my opinion, realistic targets. With everything going on in the world, people looking for store value, people might dump their altcoins if they're in garbage ICO projects or IDO projects, and they might realize, oh, this is a bad idea. The SEC is going to start targeting some of these projects. Maybe they're not garbage projects. Maybe they're great projects. But if they're not complying with the government and they're doing stuff and they have a team that's not anonymous, then the SEC can certainly go after them and make their lives unpleasant and certainly harm these projects. So Bitcoin, I think, is the safest thing to be in right now. I wouldn't want to necessarily be in Ethereum right now. I do think the altcoins are going to outperform still through the end of this year somehow. But, real quickly, sorry, I'm I'm getting off topic already and talking about Bitcoin dominance now. So I just want to point this out. So look, this was the last cycle. We came down here. Alt season was great. We bounced back down. Alt season again. Woohoo. We're all going to be rich with our altcoins, and then, zoomed off and the bear market started and Bitcoin dominance went up. So once again, have we just made a double bottom? I mean, this does kind of look like a bottom. If you're a pattern guy, Adam, Eve, there's an Adam and Eve bottom, double bottom, right? And so we also have the indicator telling us buy. My hope is that this isn't the bottom. My hope is that because these two things do look different, history rhymes, but you can look at this pattern here and kind of see, sorry, my indicator makes this look insane, and all these moving averages, but you can see this is a W, right? This, you could also say, well, this is Adam and Eve. It's making a different bottom formation. And yeah, you could say, if we start pumping up here, maybe we make a W and maybe Bitcoin dominance goes way up and it could harm the altcoins, right? My hope is that Vectorspace and QNT are somewhat uncorrelated from a lot of these other projects. And for me, that's my narrative. That's my reason. I think the charts look okay, but it's my reason for staying exposed to them because I think there will be a time, it could be 6 months from now even, towards the end of the cycle, Bitcoin's topped, it begins to drop, these altcoins have a lot of money pumped into them. So Vectorspace is so not only pumped into them from speculators, right, but also from their actual utility adoption. Gateways on Quant network, Overledger network, things are getting going with that. And for Vectorspace, they realize paying customers, and have revenue coming in. So that's what I'm hoping happens this cycle. And then, of course, all of us traders and speculators who pump the price. So QNT BTC, we'll start with that. I think 5-wave move's done. We hit the sweet spot right between the 0.5 to 0.618 and bounced. We printed a hidden bullish divergence. Can we just head back up? I hope that was the bottom. I'll show you the Bittrex chart, which has more data. So my indicator has had a chance to give us a buy and give us a sell, give us a buy, give us a sell. We have closed this candle with a sell signal. Now, that might be a good thing though, because if you look, we closed a sell signal here, we closed a sell signal here, and then that was the bottom, right? Same thing here, 3 times in a row. So pretty good record of these sell signals on this particular asset. Not working out very good, but we have been in a very bullish, Quant has performed incredible in this market. So could this sell signal be different and could we go lower? Well, I hope not. I hope 5-wave move's done, we correct, and this first wave was massive. So hopefully we can think about, okay, what's the next target going to be? And we begin moving back up, and I would say I had this as my original bull market moon target, but I didn't think we would get this far for Quant. It's impressed me a lot. I did not think it would be at this point. I did not think it would hit this high versus Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's still at 50K. So now I'm thinking it's got a lot more time to run versus Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin hits 100K, this would mean if it hit this target and Bitcoin happened to be around 100K, that would be a $2,390 QNT. I know a lot of people are looking for 10,000, but to me, guys, if it hits 1,000, that's great. Anything beyond that, I think, looking at the USD chart, I thought maybe it could hit 2,500. I kind of just used a model to think where it might go. I've deleted this drawing 10 times. This was my original idea that I posted on Twitter. I thought we were starting a third wave, but I was wrong. So I did post, yeah, this is invalid, and my bad. If you were buying in here thinking it's going higher based on my analysis. See, this is why you can't follow people, and you can't trust even me. So keep that in mind. I'm just trying to share, of course, my opinion, my bias, my views. I get nothing out of this. This is just fun. And so, yeah, I mean, people were pointing out, look, we moved up, falling wedge, break up, falling wedge, break up. Well, then we had this falling wedge and we broke underneath it. So that plan did not work out. We failed here. So because, and why'd we fail here? Well, we're due for a retracement. Look at this RSI. The RSI here topped out and it began to go down as the price pushed up. That's why we printed this regular bearish divergence, and that was the top. We also have these hidden bullish divergences, which you can see down here, pushed us up. Down here, pushed us up. But here, it didn't matter. We were due for a retracement. So you have to see where the price has gone, what is the RSI doing, and then, have we gone up on a huge parabolic move up? And then you still see these and you think, well, we're going to keep going up, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. So that's where divergences are a little bit helpful, but you really have to look at the buy and sell signals and see what they're doing. And here on the 4-hour, this would have given me a clue if I had looked at it that we had a sell signal, a buy signal, and then, just a sell signal came pretty quickly right after. So same thing I can look for here. When I see a buy signal, a sell, and then 3 bars later, another buy signal, that's a very bullish signal that can tell me, price wants to go up. And so that's one of the ways I trade with this indicator. And I trade on derivatives. I trade very low time frames, and I use this indicator for setups just like what I showed you, where I get a buy, a sell, and then a buy, take a long position, and I usually just scalp trade. I don't do any big ballsy swing trades with millions of dollars or anything like that. This is just fun for me to do a little trading and learn technical analysis. The main conviction I have in my altcoins is from doing research, though. It's all about the fundamentals, and that's what I'm speculating on, and the charting does help, So QNT USD, I think, might have completed its retracement. I mean, from this low here, right at the 618. If this holds, I'd say, we're good. If this breaks, we are retracing the move from down here. And you can see the confluence with this level of support here. This would provide some great support. So we're going to come back down here and retest. Excuse me, I didn't draw that right. So I would say we'd bounce like 219. So I would not, if I were looking to buy this dip and wanted to have some bids down here just in case, I'm not saying we go any lower, but if we did, I'd layer them in anywhere, 225, 220 to 225. And even a little bit higher because it's so liquid and people are going to be jumping to buy in here, I think. So if I wanted to buy a little bit more, I would probably set bids around there. And then for price targets, as I said, looking at the BTC QNT chart, could we hit 2,500? Yeah, I think we can, because if we have an X move up that takes us to over $1,000, okay, and that's a third wave, then we still have a fifth wave, which would take us to, sorry, So then I'd say the fifth wave could take us all the way up to 1698, or who knows? Maybe we get lucky and we hit 2,700 bucks. You can see, look at the QNT BTC chart. Imagine where Bitcoin is going, which I think it is going to go to 100K. And then I imagine where the QNT BTC chart could end up. Sure, it could go to 0.02 or even a little bit higher. And then I look at, where can the USD chart go? That's how I build my confluence for holding a position, because I think, we have further moves to the upside coming. And this whole scenario I just went over, guys, this is not guaranteed to happen within the next 3 to 6 months. I really hope it does, but this might be something that plays out over the course of years as well. So keep that in mind. Those of us who have been in this longer have a lot different perspective on the fact that the price is over $200, because we bought before anybody knew about it. And, think about the people that got in at the ICO. This is $200 is 1,000x what they bought. So even if they put $1,000 in and held all of that this whole time, they'd have $1 million. If they put 5,000 in, can you imagine? I think there is people who put tens of thousands in probably at the ICO and did just hold it all. So if you guys can't understand why people would sell up here, you don't understand. Because you bought here, and because, well, the chart tells me it's going higher, and because if it's going to go higher, why would you take profit? Well, you take profit on the way up. So, I have a small enough position that I took it, $5-6, and I do think it's going higher, that I figure I'll just hold. I'll just wait. I'm willing to ride it out higher. I know a retracement's going to happen at some point. I'm just going to sit tight through it. So that's what I'm saying, just sit tight through this next 6 months and we'll see what happens, right? We're just speculating. We don't know. This thing could all fall apart and all these projects could get attacked by the SEC, and laws could get put into the U.S. government's infrastructure bill that could screw up a lot of things with crypto, So a lot of things can go wrong, but things can also hopefully go our way. Vectorspace, we came down and touched this support level here, which I like, and I like the confluence with the fact that I can draw a fib from low to high, and I can say, wow, that's like exactly the 618 fib, which is a great fib level to use for a wave 1. Typically comes to the 0.5 or 0.618. In crypto, it's usually somewhere in between these two levels. So wave 1's done, wave 3's coming. Once again, obviously I'm going over the bearish scenario, the bullish scenario. Could we drop back down to $6? Yeah, it could happen. Anything can happen in crypto. So we'll see. But the bullish scenario is that we take a position, we're long, and it goes to 30 or 46. And then the next target up would be around $70. That would be a 5-wave move. Then we'd have a wave 2. And that could take a long time, or it could complete very quickly. How we gauge that, we'll just have to see what the rest of the market's doing, and we'll just have to see what's going on with the company, and we have to spend our time watching videos, looking at other people's analysis, spending time in the Telegram, doing the research on our own, trying to better understand how their technology actually works, wrap our brains around it. Are these companies like the S&P actually going to be selling, Vectorspace's tech to their customers, right? Is it really good enough at producing alpha that gives them a better edge than one they already have in the markets, right? Because they have to have alpha, they have to have an edge in the markets already. So will they find that the value of these data sets giving them alpha and edge in the markets is valuable? I think it is. That's a great use case in and of itself. And these guys also have potential to make revenue other ways, but I think the fastest way for them to make money as a company, which is what the CEO always talks about and has been talking about for ages, is that you know they're going to try to go after the customers they think are going to bring the big money. And they're not partnering up with other crypto projects. They're going outside the crypto realm, and this is not a crypto project. And the Vectorspace token has a very unique use case and tokenomics. But basically, if the company makes a lot of money, then we can expect them to put in price floor after price floor, assuming money's flowing in, and after price floor. And so theoretically, if the company succeeds and has revenue, then the VXV token should sustain higher prices. That's the theory, right? And it's a good theory. It makes sense. I think so far, a lot of this move up, sure, it's just speculators. It's us retail investors pushing the price up. But we don't know. Maybe hedge funds are taking positions in this. Who knows? Maybe they're taking a small position because the liquidity is not good, but they're probably going to take bigger positions once that liquidity is improved. And we know exchanges are coming. We know market making is coming. So that in and of itself can help the price a lot. And it can help bigger players begin to trade it, take positions. If derivatives is something that happens, that also is a good source of liquidity, and it brings attention to it. So the more exchanges, the better. I do hope they get on at least one good regulated U.S. exchange, aside from CoinMetro. I like CoinMetro a lot, but the liquidity, 6% spread. I mean, how can anybody trade this? And there's slippage on, I bought mine through Uniswap, but there was always slippage. I mean, I just sucked it up. And I just said, I don't care. I'm just buying, because I want to take a position. So anyway, I think Vectorspace and QNT both are going to continue to do well. And I do think these retracements are over or maybe near complete. And I think they could still go lower and still have an opportunity to hit those price targets I was talking about. The bearish scenario, guys, is that, you just wait. It might go back down to $50. Okay, some guy said, yep, we're going back down to 50. I mean, I thought that was a ridiculous thing to say. I don't know what kind of whacked out analysis he had, but we're going back down to 50. There's people who, as soon as the price starts correcting, they become so bearish, and the whole market's going to correct. It's going to be a black swan event. Everything's going to sell off. And I just don't believe that the markets are that things are going to be that easy, and we can just sit with our 10,000 and buy for pennies, and then it's going to, do 1,000x in another 2 years, and we're all going to be rich. I think that, you have to be willing to hold through these deeper market corrections and have conviction that the price is going to go higher. And how do you do that? You use technical analysis and you do research. And so you just put the work in and hopefully have some strong hands. Don't get emotional, and don't risk money that is going to really devastate you if you lose it, because people lose money all the time in this, and it's devastating. And I've lost money. I've gotten scammed. I've been through all that crap, and I've lost a lot of money trading. And until I got the hang of it, and now I make money trading. It's good, but these are high risk investments. So take profits, guys. When we start hitting these higher targets, lock in profits, okay? Because yes, we can keep going higher. Yes, it can go to 10,000, 100,000, $1 million. There is no limit on how high this thing can go over time, but at some point we want to, take profits or figure out a way to generate passive income with these assets and enjoy life. So anyway, that is it for today, guys. I hope the analysis was helpful. If it was, give me a thumbs up so other people on YouTube can find this, and hopefully it's helpful. Feel free to drop a comment, and I hope you guys have a wonderful and productive evening. All right.